summertime.
Okay, I'll remember that in 2 weeks.
Now until November. Short times for me.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Shit, I was gonna bring it. I got some, oh, they're here. Sure, okay.
So Ryan, did you get all your ropes tied?
The hops are halfway up already.
Are they at? Boy, they grow fast. A foot a day?
Yeah, let's see, like, I took a picture of one on Memorial Day, and 7 days later, it was about 30 inches taller.
I was wondering, do you drip irrigate or?
Drip irrigation.
Yeah, okay.
And it's
You got your own well.
yeah, we got our own well, yeah, so drip irrigation, about every other day, so. Just a little bit of water every day.
Boy, that corn looks great right now, but it can't go forever, can it?
Yeah, this dry shade today, it's like I already see some corn already starting to curl its leaves.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. Especially it was only this tall. The stuff like this looked good yet.
Hey, Mike. Are you gonna go to the 8 county meeting on June 22nd in Beersford?
It's kind of a tough time.
Yeah, I know. I have to give a head count. that's
June
why.
22nd, right? I won't be going to it. I've got a cardiac
Oh, you won't?
rehabilitation
Oh,
that day.
okay. All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Time being 6 o'clock, I'll call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you take roll call, please?
Ryan,
Here.
John,
Here.
Dan,
Here.
Wanda,
Here.
Don.
Here. Next, first item on the agenda is the agenda. I would like to propose, I need to propose a couple changes. Items 13, 14, and 15 are going to be deleted from the agenda for a later time. Then I'd like to add item 15A, and that's from the letter from the Minnehaha County Commission on detention facilities. I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda, or are there any other changes?
I would move to approve the amended agenda.
Thank you, Wanda. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ryan. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is a financial conflict of interest. Does anybody have a financial conflict of interest at this time?
I do not.
Nobody does,
I
okay.
do not.
I do not.
Next item, public comment. Is there any items for public comment?
You have to go up there to the podium, and Mr. Vetter will turn the microphone on for our at-home viewers.
Commission, my name's Pauline Ackland, and I'm here to address texting and driving, distracted driving. And I know you guys don't pass the laws, but I would like to ask for your assistance in education. Educating the public, working with the Sheriff's Department and having them work with the city to educate people on what distracted driving really is. I'd like for you to just close your eyes humor me for a minute. Close your eyes, and when I tell you to open them, okay, go ahead and open them. You just traveled 55 miles an hour and the length of a football field. What did you see? What did you miss? That's what's happening on our roadways. People are driving, they are not only texting, they are FaceTiming, they are YouTubing, they are TikToking, they are doing all kinds of things. And the reason I know this is because I was run off the road a year ago in March. And I lived to tell about it. I met a pickup on North 81, traveling 65 miles an hour, and I had to take the ditch. And he never stopped. He never checked on me. He didn't even realize what he did. So this is why I'm passionate about it. And now it's become prevalent to me because I see it everywhere I go. Every car I pass, they have this in their hand. And they're not just looking up a number like the law says. The law says that you can use your phone to write, read, select, or enter a telephone number. But that's not what they're doing. And we need to educate them of what that's causing, because it is dangerous. And I was able to live to see my granddaughter turn 1 and to see all the rest of my grandchildren turn another year older. I might not have gotten that had I been distracted. So I just ask you to encourage the Sheriff's Department to work with the city and do signage, whatever. You know, signage, billboards, encourage the businesses to put up signage. But it needs to stop. And it needs to stop today. I am working with the legislature trying to get someone to sponsor a change to this bill, because it needs to be no handheld devices, period. We all have cars that have hands-free. I don't even use that in my car. I have it available, and I put it on Do Not Disturb because I am afraid. Because that's what that incident did to me. Thank you.
Very good message, thank you. Are there any other public comments to be made? Hearing none, we'll move on. Next item on the agenda is appointment of member of Board of Mental Illness. Lucy?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am Lucy, and I come before you. I have a member who is, her term is up, so I'm asking you to appoint Mark Catterhagen for He has been on the board before. He's done a wonderful job, and so he has sat out a year, so I think he is now eligible to serve. I think that he is now eligible to get back on the board and serve as a member, so I'm asking that you appoint him as a Board of Mental Illness, one of the members.
I would move to appoint Mark Catterhagen as a regular member of the Yankton County Board of Mental Illness.
Second.
I have a motion by Wanda, second by Dan. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed the same. Motion carries.
And so, I may be out of order, but in talking to my board members, they said they needed some more alternates. So I have reached out feelers, and I have found another individual who's willing to sit as an alternate because they're having a hard time finding people to sub for them when they need them. So this isn't on the agenda, but I have asked Bill Schaefer, who used to work out at HSC, if he would be just a sub for the board. So if you need me to come back and do that another night, I can do that.
Do we need to?
I would move to approve Bill Schaefer as an alternate board member.
Do we need to have him on the agenda, though?
I don't think so, because he's an
Ron?
alternate.
Well, Rob? do you- Okay, I'd second Wanda's motion.
I have a motion and a second. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. And thanks for the things that you do.
Do you want the oath of office set, Mr. Schaefer?
Who made that motion?
Wanda made the motion, and I seconded it.
And I apologize for that, but I wasn't aware, and then my board members were telling me, and I'm just like, okay.
You're fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lucy.
The next item on the agenda is Cultivation Facility A2Z LLC. Michael Barkle.
I think this would be a hearing. I think we'd have to wait till 6:10 to start this, wouldn't we?
Say what?
This is a public hearing. I know we only got a couple minutes, but we'd probably have to wait till 6:10. That's when it is on the agenda.
Sure.
So wait a minute and then start it at
You
6:10.
you can rest up for 2 minutes.
You could probably call Troy out for the next one.
Okay. Troy?
Good evening, everyone. You had some information in your packets about the LifePak 15 monitors. We got our 4 new monitors through the South Dakota LifePak initiative about 2 weeks ago, and we have put those LifePaks in service. So now we have 4 LifePaks that we are no longer using, and we have some organizations that are interested in purchasing them from us. So we just need to declare those 4 old LifePaks as surplus property to be able to get those sold off right away. Anybody have any questions about that?
I have a question. Do they expire, or you just got new ones?
Well, we got new ones because the South Dakota LifePak initiative gave every ambulance service in the state of South Dakota a new LifePak.
I get that. That wasn't the question. The question was, do they expire?
No, they don't expire, no.
I would move to declare the life packs that we had before as surplus so they could be reallocated to somebody who could use them.
I will second that motion.
Motion by Wanda, second by John. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 All right, thank
Motion
you.
carries.
Hey, Troy,
Thank you, Troy.
new life packs are quite a bit better. Are these the ones that allow like video telehealth on them, or?
No, this is, that's a separate initiative.
Separate,
The telehealth
okay.
is done through some tablets that will actually be
Tablets,
installed in the
okay.
ambulances, so that's
Got
a
it.
separate initiative. These are the newest generation of life packs. There's a few new updates to them, but for the most part, they're pretty similar to the old ones that we have.
15.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, let's go back to the cultivation facility A2Z LLC.
Nope.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I'm asking to get a cultivation license.
Well, you have to say who you are.
A to Z LLC, Michael Barkle. Asking for a cultivation. I have a medical dispensary at 29710 US Highway 81. It would be on the same property down to the south.
You provided some information prior to the meeting, did you not?
I did.
And one of those things is a diagram.
Yes, ma'am.
This 40-foot container for plant cloning, that appears to be 40 feet by 8 feet, is that enclosed?
It is. Yep.
Is it subject to the same, it doesn't appear, at least according to your diagram, to be subject to the same security, videos, locks, doors, that?
It is. It will be in the vicinity. Yep. It will be under camera, lock and key.
Will this be inside?
No, it won't.
Okay. Now, the medical cultivation safety and security statement, which you provided, which is somewhat lengthy, has on my page 2, my pages aren't numbered, but has on page 2 that you'll have security cameras on the cash terminals and the retail floor coverage. Is this a misstatement because it's a cultivation and dispensary plan? Or is it, are you planning to be selling product out of the door of your cultivation?
No,
unit?
ma'am. That's I added on to another plan that I had from the dispensary.
Okay. And according to your plan, which I believe is page 4, again, it's unnumbered, trimmers will be on site 12-hour shifts during flowering time? I don't know anything about this, so when is flowering time?
Flowering time's near the end of the plant's growth stage.
Okay.
Usually 8 to 10 weeks
Okay.
pass, and it lasts for about 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay, so would you describe this plan as being a joint dispensary / cultivation plan?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, it's on the same property. The office for the cultivation will be in the dispensary too.
Are you planning on doing X-ray chamber decontamination?
No, that's just a requirement from the state to put it on the. I hope not.
What?
I hope not. It's expensive.
Well, and dangerous. And I see you, A to Z, will be accepting payments in the form of credit cards and/or cash with an ATM on site? This is for, I assume, the dispensary
Yes, ma'am.
and then not the cultivation unit?
No, cultivation would be check.
That would be all the questions that I had. Mr. Heine, any questions?
So this says, your diagram here really has a few distances, and Mark says, I'm just still trying to picture it on the property as a whole. Oh, sorry, but so there's an existing building on site that you have your dispensary out of, right?
Correct.
Okay, and you're going to build this, I think, to the south,
Yep, to
Of
the
that.
south, like 200 feet.
about 200 feet. Okay. And then, so then you'll have parking around, close to the highway, towards the highways, or
No,
it kind of has just?
no, I closed they're redoing the road up there, so I actually closed off 2 access points.
Mhm.
which is really nice. So people have to either come from 46 now or all the ways down to the
Oh,
south,
okay.
past the building.
Okay. I noticed you listed a whole list of chemicals. Is that like the exclusive list of the chemicals you're going to be using, or does that change if
Pesticides, the
yeah,
list of
yes.
pesticides, they're all natural pesticides. They just require you to list anything.
I was just saying, is that your complete list, or?
That's
or
the
is
state's
it-
complete list.
Okay.
So I,
All right. Well, got it. You guys want to look at this?
John,
Now.
any questions?
Nice to have seen this prior to.
We had to come early for that.
Should have been in the packet.
Along with Ryan's question about the chemicals, you'll have a MDS report on file, on the site,
yep, there will be.
accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Sure, yep.
Okay. I think Wanda and Ryan pretty well covered it. But
This afternoon, late. I think so.
Since we received this package late today, I would suggest that we table it until everybody can have a chance to read it. It should have been in our package, and it isn't. Does everybody agree?
Do you need a motion?
Sure.
Yeah,
Are you making the motion?
I'll move
Yeah, I
to-
made it. It's already made.
I'll second it then.
We'll probably need to re-advertise for the hearing then and just do a continuance and re-advertise the whole, is that what you'd recommend, Gary? Just so if
Yeah.
anybody in the public wants to come and do public comment, they'll be able to come to the next
You
meeting
might want
and
to
do it.
number those pages, because otherwise it'll make no sense.
So a motion and a second discussion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Michael?
Good evening. I guess, first I have on the deal to approve the Loiza construction bid. It was originally done at Harding County, we just got to piggyback off that bid. Pretty much all the counties, Loiza bids it out to one county, and they pass this information on to anybody who wants their services. This is for the West 11th project, the milling. So I guess I just need approval to approve the Harding County Loiza construction bid.
So
That's your
moved.
recommendation.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve the Harding County Loiza construction bid.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Next on the discussion, I have asphalt paver. Well, our paver that we currently have, last summer we had a hydraulic pump go out. When that happens, it puts filings into the tank, and in that machine, there's 5 other hydraulic pumps doing other things, and all that trash has gone through everything on it. We had it taken up to Butler, up in Sioux Falls, to have some hydraulic issues gone through. We're having a lot of leaks and just a lot of hydraulic issues last year after this happened. The machine is I believe it's a 2000. Anyways, we paid $40,000 for the machine back in 2019. Their estimated cost on repairing that paver was 110 plus. So I opted to, in your packet, I put in sales agreement for another paver that I have found. Honestly, I looked around the area, called a few dealers other than CAT, and there was nothing available at the time. We're kind of up against the wall here. There's nothing to rent. There's newer machines with less hours coming in, but that ain't gonna be here till this fall. And that machine for sale probably wouldn't be ready till January. So I have this one here in front of us. It's 2011, price of $71,000.
What are you gonna do with the old one?
The old one will send her down the road. We'll have to surplus it. And
What do you think?
Purple Wave or whatever?
right, as of right now, it is a running, moving machine, but how long? Yeah,
As is where is
Yep.
where we're gonna sell it at. Yep.
yep.
What do you think we can get for it?
I'm hoping in the 30 range.
That's actually pretty good, as much use as we've got now.
20 to 30, I might be dreaming at 30.
This is a piece of equipment we bought in 19, you said?
2019, and we used it
From
for,
Harding, what county? Hutchinson?
Turner County.
Turner County. Well, we got 4 years of use.
4 years of use, and there's, if you count all the patching and everything, we probably shoved 50, 60 miles of asphalt through it, so.
And I think from our conversations, this unit, according to Butler Cat, should suffice us for 5 to 6 years.
Right. It is something to where, yes, we need to, this is a used machine. Down the road, we need to find something with a little lower hours. This one here has.
8,400.
Yep. And that's what our current machine has. The difference is ours is a 2000, this is a 2011. I don't like the hours, but what are we gonna do?
This also is a trade-in unit coming into Butler then, and Butler will go through this machine
Yep, and they have.
in their shop
They
before
have-
we receive it, we take possession of it, so.
They have gone through it. There was some oil leaks on the engine. They took care of that. They got an x-ray machine that can, I don't know if you call it an x-ray or what it is, but anyways, it'll tell you the thickness of all your wear parts. That seemed to be pretty good, so.
Sounds like we're in a tough spot. It's either this machine or nothing.
Well, that's just it, because
What do you
right now we have the neighbors borrowed, but we gotta get it back.
do? Yeah. Yeah.
And you can cover this under your budget?
Well, I had originally planned on shoving about 60,000 into it, just having the hydraulics and a few other things gone through, and I didn't realize it was gonna be to this extent. So we had some drive motors that I was worried about that were causing us issues, that's why it went up to Sioux Falls.
Thank you. Thank you. Any more questions or comments?
I think with a couple of the other projects that we've been switching things around, I think that this will still stay underneath the Highway Department's budget by purchasing this machine, so. I move that we make that purchase.
I have a motion to make the
Second.
purchase.
I'll second it.
And second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries.
Last I have on here is, says agreement to terminate bridge replacement number 717927. That is Stone Church Big Grant. We all know that the maximum they're gonna give us is 3.2 million, which is not gonna get us where we need to be. We've already discussed that come August, we're applying for the local federal grant. And if we don't have success there, we're going for the straight federal grant in September. So, and if we were to get denied both of them, talking down the road, we would reapply possibly for the big grant again in January for the full amount. So as of right now, this big grant that we have is no good.
We're about 5 million short, at least.
I would say probably closer to 7 right now.
Yeah.
I think, John, were you at the office that day? We were talking to Doug Kinneberg.
Yes.
And this is what he recommended too.
So really, Mike, this is the only option we have, you know, what a gut punch to get a bridge improvement grant for replacement of that bridge, which is difficult enough on its own, and the bridges come back double and triple, and
Well, who knew we were gonna have such inflation?
yeah. To put it in perspective for the public, if we took your entire budget and you didn't touch another road in the whole county, and we put it all toward this bridge, we still couldn't
We
afford to
still couldn't
replace
do
it. And so there's no way we can do it. Absolutely none. So what choice do we have?
And the state, Kinneberg, did request that if we're not gonna move forward with
Yeah.
replacing the bridge, that we turn it back in so that they could use it for other funds for the state of South Dakota, so.
You know, the disappointing thing about the bridge improvement grant, at the state level, costs have doubled and tripled, but the bridge improvement grant fund has not. And so when we applied for that, it was at 15 million. This bridge right here, one bridge is at 10 million. So, that doesn't go very far for 66 counties and 200 municipalities.
But on the
15 million.
positive side,
Yeah.
we've done well with the big
We
grant.
we
Perhaps.
have, yeah.
Really good.
And that's one thing Doug Kinneberg from Pierce said also, is trying to piece this grant with a federal grant. He don't want to do it. He said he does not recommend that at all.
Is there any other questions?
I would move to approve the agreement to terminate agreement number 717927.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Wanda, second by John, to terminate the bridge replacement 717927 agreement. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed the same. Motion carries.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Mike.
Can you be any louder?
Jim, you're up.
Mine will be a lot easier.
Got better news for us, I hope.
What are you gonna hand out fly swatters? Is that what you're gonna do?
Sure. I brought the mosquito abatement contracts for approval and signatures and questions if there are any.
Any questions? I'd entertain a motion to approve the mosquito abatement program.
I so move.
Second,
John?
second. Or give it to Ryan.
Ryan, second. Discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed the same, motion carries.
That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
You could say just a couple words about the weeds and where you're at on that program. I know it's not on the agenda
Well,
as such, but
We've started working through the county, spraying right of ways. We're working in some of the townships. I expect we'll be extremely busy all summer.
they grow and corn dies in drought.
Yeah, the
not right.
drought doesn't affect the weeds any.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
I would move to go into Board of Adjustment.
I have a motion to go into the Board of Adjustment. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ryan, second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carries.
Good evening. We have a CUP request for a 16-foot sidewall accessory building with an accompanying plat that ties the house and the accessory structure together. And the applicants are here to answer any of your questions.
Anybody have questions?
I have a question. You have to go to the podium and tell us who you are.
My name's Jason Larson with Morton Buildings.
The blue on the picture, that's going to be the building, correct? Well, we have it on here.
Can I peek at somebody's picture? I don't want to say I'm that and be wrong. Not quite to that shape, but the tools online are a little bit sketchy. So it's much smaller than that shape.
Is it that smaller?
So
square?
basically there's that shed right here, this little fabric structure.
Okay.
That's gone and it'll sit right here. It's a 30 by 40, so
Okay.
that small rectangle in there.
Got it.
Yep.
It's going to be the small rectangle?
Yes, correct.
Hike up the microphone to there. Thank
There you
you.
go. Yes, the smaller rectangle on the
Okay.
plan.
Any questions?
That was my question.
Hearing none, I'd look for a recommendation to approve the plat.
Mr. Chairman,
I think we have to go through the findings.
Oh.
Public comment?
Yeah.
Correct, you are, as usual. Anybody have public comment on this? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve the CUP. Hines.
Do we have to go through the findings? The findings which are further down, which are that,
Yeah, I don't have it on my,
oh,
you want
okay.
to read
Yeah,
it?
I got it right here, yeah, that applicant's requesting a conditional use permit for an accessory building in moderate density R2. And the reason he's here, because it exceeds the sidewall height of 14 feet. He's going to 16 feet. The mailings were sent out and it was published, and the planning commission recommended it be granted. Ingress and egress exists. There's right of way on and off parking.
There's none required.
Yeah, none required. Utilities were present. None, no screening was required, no signs were required. And it was in general compatibility with adjacent properties, and there was, no public comment against it. So I guess with that, I'd make a
I think the one comment on it, I watched the
Sure.
planning meeting on it, was just this constant thing of the sidewall heights. And maybe we need to get rid of the sidewall heights and go to a peak height in the zoning ordinances, which makes more sense. Because there's a lot of, we're probably gonna see a lot
That's
of.
pretty common in a lot of the residential and lake area properties that I work in, is a peak height, because the sidewall's kind of irrelevant,
Yeah.
almost to a degree.
And we're gonna probably see a lot of people wanting a 16-foot
Yeah.
sidewall just so that they can get that 14-foot door.
Yeah, for campers and boats and things like that.
And this is situated where it won't impede anybody's view, correct?
No, it's significantly
No, I'm not
lower.
correct, or no, I'm correct?
You are correct.
Yeah.
You are correct.
And I believe Gary's got it on his list of things to bring forth when we make change. You can't hear?
I
Get a
thought you got
hearing
a new
aid.
set of,
Okay.
Make a motion to approve the request.
I'll second.
A motion and a second, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, motion carries.
Thank you.
I would move to go back into regular session.
Second.
I have a motion by Wanda, second by Dan, to go back into regular session. Discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same, motion carries. We're now back in regular session.
We now have the plat that goes along with that CUP, plat of lots B-47 and B-48 of Farview Heights, located in the northeast quarter of the southeast quarter of Section 13, Township 93 North, Range 57 West of the 5th Principal Meridian, Yankton County, South Dakota.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion by Dan, second by Wanda. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same, motion carries. Thank you, Gary. Then you get to talk about drainage.
Yes, we had one applicant for the Drainage Commission position, Dan Grant, who's been on the Drainage Commission for a few years now. We didn't get any other applicants. We were looking for 3, so my suggestion would be to put Dan back on and put the group down to 7 versus 9.
Make a motion to appoint Dan Grant to the Drainage Commission and go from, 9 to 7 members?
Yes.
Second.
Got a motion by Dan, second by Wanda. Discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
The next 3 items on the agenda have been postponed.
Mr. Chair, I see we have the mayor of Gayville here. Nick, were you here for the item number 15?
Yeah, and I can speak to that,
Okay.
that Gable property. I
Okay.
did tell him to
You gotta go up there too, or turn your thing on.
And so this is a piece of property I did a quiet title action on, so it isn't listed, but we do own it. We own it as I just have to file a
We as in the
certified
county.
copy. I just have to certified copy of the judgment, so we do own the property. And I'm sorry I wasn't here right away at the beginning of the meeting, but I did ask the town of Gable to come. It is a dilapidated piece of property that I was talking to the original owners, and the ownership was a mess, and they didn't want anything to do with it because of the cost of restoring it, and it's been destroyed. And so I believe the town of Gable wants to clean up the property and then move on. And so that's why he's here.
So now there's no reason that we can't act on it versus the information we had a couple
Yep.
hours ago.
Yep, Don,
Okay.
yes.
And the city of Gayville wants to burn it to the ground and use it as training, correct?
That could be.
Isn't that accurate?
Nick Huber with the town of Gayville. We would like to burn it, but it's too close to an adjacent property. So we would like the fire department to train on it, but not burn it. Hopefully the town would tear it down then, and then turn it into green space, and then hopefully sell it to get some of our money back, because the town's been mowing it for the last 15 years. So, any other questions, I guess?
And Nick, do you know what your special assessments are on that property?
No, last I remember, it was over 5,000.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna get much back from it.
Everybody's gonna lose on it.
Yes.
Just it's more,
Yes,
and your plan is to redevelop that, I assume?
that's the
Okay.
goal, yes.
Yep.
We don't wanna, I can't say we are gonna sell it as is, but it would be, if we do that, it would be sell as is with a date that the new owners have to tear it down, or the town would tear it down.
Okay. And I can't speak for the rest of the board, but me personally, I'd like to see that property tore down and hopefully redevelop it. It'd be nice if a new home would go there and a new family move into Gayville and back
Yeah.
on the tax rolls. I think that's what everybody wants to see, so.
Yeah.
And Dan, I know you kind of noted to it too, that's why I asked on the special assessments, we sell it subject to the special assessments, so somebody who bid on it would be having to pay those special assessments off. So that's the reason why the value to us is basically at zero. So, at a value to Gayville, but not to us.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'd move to transfer the property to the town of Gayville.
Second.
Are we,
Have a motion by Wanda, second by John. Discussion?
the only thing is and Rob, maybe there's a way we could do it, we took that off the agenda. Is there a way we could add that back on to do that, or, I just wanna make sure we're doing it
Yeah.
correct, Rob?
And then I would say, yeah, we can.
We can, okay.
Yeah.
So, the only thing, Wanda, with your motion is I would like to put a requirement that, it gets redeveloped in, like a 5-year or 3-year timeline, or it reverts back to the county. What I don't want to happen is, I know some of the town in Utica, they're just somebody else's extra lawn now. They came in and they said that it was gonna get redeveloped, and it never did. And so I would like some requirement that if we give them this property, it's gonna get redeveloped. That would be the only thing I would like on there.
And how do we enforce that?
Yeah.
Well, I think, I trust the mayor, and I trust his word, and if we give you this property, I think he's going to do it.
What if he's not the mayor in 3.2 years?
He's not going anywhere. He's gonna be on that town board for life. He's stuck. But I think this is a gentleman's agreement, and I know Nick, and he's a stand-up guy, so.
Well, then I will modify my motion to approve the transfer of the property to the town of Gayville, provided that it is redeveloped within 5 years, or be returned to Yankton County.
And I will second that motion.
Have a motion and a second for discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same, motion carries.
Congratulations. It's a fixer-upper, though.
Maybe.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is the item that that I added on it. And it's a letter from the Board of Commissioners of Minnehaha County concerning juvenile detention. I'm going to take a minute to read it because I think it impacts our entire community, and they should understand some of the actions that are going on in this area. In October 2022, Minnehaha County made our partner counties aware of an anticipated increase in the daily bed rate and dissolution of the Joint Powers Agreement. At that time, the estimated daily bed rate for 2024 was projected between $400 and $450.
Per day.
Per day. As you prepare your 2024 budget, we want you to update the projection daily bed rate for 2024. All non-Minnehaha County users will be moving to the standard rate of $458.48. This rate is calculated using a formula similar to the rate used to calculate jail bed rates, and is designed to capture the costs of operating a juvenile facility, including the costs associated with the payment towards bond interest associated with the portion of the facility housing juveniles. The current Minnehaha Juvenile Detention Center is an aging facility that has been facing increasing demand for services. The number of juveniles who are involved in the justice system has been steadily rising, and the cost of providing supervision, medical, and other service to these youth has increased significantly. As you know, Minnehaha County has studied the need for improving the juvenile detention center. This study produced a design for the Juvenile Justice Center, which will be home to juvenile court services, and juvenile detention. Earlier this year, the Minnehaha County Commission approved a $50 million bond to finance this project. And as mentioned, part of the rate increase incorporated a portion of the financing costs. Minnehaha County will bear the cost of the portion of the facility dedicated to juvenile court and court services, as well as the unoccupied beds. The design team in charge of this facility is near the end of this schematic design phase. Our timetable estimates that the construction on the new housing units will begin in April of 2024, with the full facility estimated to be completed in 2026. It is our intent to keep you informed throughout the process. We plan to provide periodic updates to you as the project progresses, and welcome you to visit the current facility and review the design plans. As we communicated previously, Minnehaha County will be discussing the joint powers agreement for the Juvenile Detention Center. Discussing the joint powers agreement will not change your county's access to the Juvenile Detention Center. We will be providing additional procedural information regarding dissolving the joint powers agreement at a later date. Basically, that's it. We're headed for some major increases in budget for juvenile detention, should that happen. So I think in our planning, I think we need to make sure that there are no alternatives that we could examine.
Well, we can only do so much. You can only do house arrest for certain people. You can only hope that parents do more parenting. Unfortunately, there are some children that are going to end up in JDC.
And Wanda, correct me if I'm wrong,
I'd love
that's
to.
that's court ordered when, doesn't the judge order that? So it's not on, we can do everything we can do, but if the kid's ordered, it's kind
True.
of out of our hands.
True, it's out of the
Yeah.
county's hands,
Yeah.
but the court and the Boys and Girls Club and the diversion program, all of those things are working together in an
Sure.
effort to reduce the number of children that are sent to JDC. However, there are some children that there's nowhere else to put them. Either they have no home supervision, or they have allegedly committed a crime sufficient enough that they need to be segregated from their own family or from other people.
Yeah.
And I have been in contact with Judge Gehring, who's the presiding judge, and one of the things that they're looking to, as the gentleman from the Boys and Girls Club said, I believe it was last meeting, was they're getting some GPS monitoring systems, hopefully to keep children at home rather than sending them at a $458 a day rate.
Just an item for awareness. It's gonna go up.
Well, seems like everything goes up.
We'll discuss this further on what goes up. It seems like the legal
Like
system.
bridge costs.
Yeah, right. Well, and the other item that I thought about when I read the letter is, Lewis and Clark Behavioral Health is entering into building a new facility for $26 million, and in the cycle of between the time we started the process till we got to bids, it went up by, I don't know, 20 million, or not 20 million, 10 million.
Well, it's unfortunate that,
So this could happen here too.
it's unfortunate that the judges in the First Circuit can't place some of these children at HSC in the wards that are empty. if we could find workers, because those are locked facilities and they're empty now. You would think that we could use them, but
That would be a cost to the state. This way, it's a cost to the county.
well, the judge mentioned today that she had heard that there's a possibility that they're going to not, how to say it, that they're going to require all prisoners who are defendants who are sentenced to prison to have a entrance physical before they go to the penitentiary, which will be at the benefit of the county. Which will be another cost that,
To the county.
to the county, that somehow we have to absorb.
So just for public knowledge, we're gonna write out a check for $34,000 to the Minnehaha County Juvenile System for juvenile detention for this month. So that's on the agenda that we're gonna approve tonight, so.
That'll double when those new rates go in. That'll be-
Exactly.
That'll be $60,000-$70,000 a month when that new facility comes
Do
online.
you think for $60,000 or $70,000, we could house some of the children at HSC?
Well, in our strategic planning items, that was one of the areas that we thought we should address, and I think it probably moves up.
Well,
And
we're talking about it.
I've been encouraging Dr. Sandage to see if there's a way that there could be an addition to the facility there.
You can't put adults with mental illness with children. I think that would be a problem.
Even if you have an isolated zoned area.
You have them isolated here at the jail and they still won't let them stay. I don't make the rules.
And the 34,000 doesn't include the traveling
Back and
expense
forth.
back and forth, so. Something we need to look at.
You're always such a bearer of good news.
Oh, by the way, that's probably about a third of a mile of new asphalt road for
You're
1
exactly
month.
correct.
For 1 month.
Yes.
You wonder why we don't get our roads fixed?
Yes.
There's a lot of reasons. Any other comments? Then we'll go on to the next item, ambulance administrator.
Well, I think we're ahead of time. Can't we do something like item 18, which is the minutes?
Yeah,
Oh, ambulance, that's not a agenda item, or that's not a,
motion item.
yeah, like a hard time, like Board of Adjustment or hearing or anything. I think we can do that one whenever, but,
The what?
you know, like Board of Adjustment needs to be at a certain time.
Well, what if the people want to be here to talk
Sure.
about the ambulance?
Sure.
They would be late.
Okay.
I don't think they care about unanticipated revenue.
Let's move on to item 17, declare surplus items for disposal. That would be you.
The only thing I know about it is that,
You got to turn your mic on.
sorry, the only thing I know about this list is that Patty said it's all pretty much junk. It's not worth anything.
Make a motion to declare those items surplus for disposal.
Have a motion, declare the items for disposal. Have
For
a
sale-
second?
For sale or disposal?
For sale or disposal, yes.
Second.
A motion and a second. Patty did contact me too and told me that the majority items on this list are junk, and it probably costs more to get it processed as junk. It's like monitors that don't work, outdated, and so Any other questions or discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'd enter, you have attached the minutes for the May 2016 commission meeting.
The only thing I had on there is action 23141C. We approved Mike Welsh for an executive summary and not to gather info for the comp plan. So remember we said it was for an executive summary. Yes? Because that was the original motion, and we said you were gonna have an executive summary, because Deputy State's Attorney Deb Lilly said the comp plan is the preview of the planning commission, and we can't have somebody else do that, so we said we're gonna have him do an executive summary, so that'll need to be corrected.
Any other corrections?
I move to approve the May 16th, 2023 minutes as amended, as mentioned to be amended.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as amended. Discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed the same. Motion carries. Still got 3 minutes, huh? Let's go to item 19, claims.
My question I had, Karen, is the Yankton Thrive membership. Is that, are we a Thrive member for the county, or is that, I know we do the donation for economic development. Is the county a member of Thrive too? I know we used to be a member for the chamber, but are we a member for Thrive too?
I think we've been a member
Okay.
for Thrive for quite a while.
Okay, so that converted over? Okay,
yeah.
that's what that is then, all right.
I think it's for each subpart.
For each department has that? Got it.
Any other questions on the claims? And entertain a motion to approve the claims.
Move to approve claims.
Wanda motions.
Second.
John seconds. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. May payroll. Any questions? And entertain a motion to approve the May payroll.
Move approval.
Second.
Dan, and motion, Wanda approval. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed the same, motion carries. Unanticipated revenue from highway.
I would move to approve the unanticipated revenue for the highway department, which, using the old math, is roughly $31,800.
Second.
Second, by Ryan. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same, motion carries. Next, unanticipated revenue, ambulance.
I move to approve the unanticipated revenue for the ambulance department.
And second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now back to the ambulance administrator.
Sounds like a plan.
Pardon?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
All right. 2 weeks ago at our previous meeting, there was a motion to offer a job for ambulance administrator to Rob Keys from Sioux Falls. He actually declined that offer. We've interviewed a few other people, 2 other people this last week, and we have, the interview team came to the recommendation to hire Eric Van Duce as our ambulance administrator for Yankton County. Spoke to him today, and he is not planning on denying or
Declining?
declining
Refusing?
the appointment or the offer, so I would recommend that we offer Eric Van Dusen the position of ambulance administrator.
Motion, right?
Make a motion, yes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Ryan, second. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Jump down to item number 20, strategic updates. I put that on there just to make confirmation that we can meet on Friday.
I brought my calendar this time. I can't meet this Friday, but I can meet next Friday. I have the wonderful opportunity to write a brief.
How about everybody else?
I can meet this Friday, I can't next Friday.
I'm flexible.
Ryan?
I'm open on both Fridays.
Wanda, I think we'll do it this Friday.
That's fine.
Thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda is public comments. Do we have any more public comments?
I didn't sign up, but can I?
Sure you can.
Oh, okay.
Sure you can.
Ooh, she's got handouts.
I do. I'm Cindy Konopasek, and I just have some handouts for you that we handed out that were handed out at the Yankton Republican meeting last night for your entertainment. It's 40 pages, so peruse at your leisure.
Thank you.
Thank you. John, you already got yours.
I already have one,
Yes. You don't want another one, do you? Here's yours. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Rob, I have an extra for you. Thank you.
That was all you had to say, Cindy?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay,
Sorry. Thank you.
thank you.
Yes.
Any other public comments? Commissioner updates.
Start
Dan?
with me. Attended the Indigent Legal Services meeting today in Vermillion. It was pretty interesting. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. The state and some of the justices realize they have a lot dumped on the counties. Gary attended with me. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. There were some commissioners from Lincoln County, Clay County, Davison County, Yankton County, Deputy State's Attorney Lilly was there, and Tyler Larson, and they all made some really good comments that indigent care is a huge expense to the counties, particularly the larger ones, Pennington, Lincoln County, and Minnehaha. I believe Lincoln County this year, just this morning, Commissioner Smith said they signed a contract for $1.3 or $1.4 million for indigent legal care just for this next year. So it's a huge expense. Hopefully the state realizes something like that and they try to take some of that.
Dan, did you open with a comment saying that the judicial people didn't realize that this was an issue?
No, I don't know if they realized it was as big of an issue as it was. So at least they're having the conversation, and this was just information gathering, and I thought that was good.
Well, part of the problem is the conversation is with the 3 largest counties that have
Exactly.
the 3 largest populations, and they may be And they may, and they may be increasing rates, either adding to real estate taxes
Yeah.
to help fund that, adding to fines to fund that, or adding to filing fees for divorces, civil actions, litigation, and jacking them up to a point comparable to other states like Iowa and Nebraska.
I don't know this would be a fact, but if I were to guess, I would guess if we went back and looked at our data, we would not see much of any increase in the payment that we would receive credits.
Oh, you mean back from the state?
Yes,
No.
okay.
So I'm not sure how the UJS plans to fund this wonderful plan that they have.
The overwhelming talk from the commissioners that were there was to have the state take it on. And it was interesting because it's only South Dakota and Pennsylvania are the only two states that burden is thrown on the counties. All the other states, the states pay for it, but South Dakota and Pennsylvania are the only two states where indigent care is a county responsibility. So it was pretty eye-opening. So am I surprised by that? No, I'm not, but it's.
Well, and part of the problem is indigent folks are ordered to pay their court-appointed attorney's fees back,
Yeah.
but most indigent folks either don't have jobs, don't have
Yeah.
property,
Yeah.
so that really never gets paid back. It's
Yeah.
an empty promise is
And
what it is.
that's exactly the same thing that was brought up, and they said, well, they'll put a lien on the property, but they don't own anything, so we can put a lien on, and we'll never get anything back, so. That's all I got, so.
John?
Just interviewed with the ambulance service. Highway Department is working diligently on improving the roads that we can and working on that. Other than that, that's all I've got.
Ryan?
I don't have anything much to report today.
I just shared my information during the course of the meeting.
Thank you. With that, I'd entertain a motion to enter into executive session.
I would move to go into executive session for personnel issues pursuant to SDCL 1-25-2 sub 1.
I'll
Have a-
second.
Ryan's second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion carries. We're now in executive session.
And bless you on your sneezing.
So ultimately, the taxpayer pays for it, one way or the other, but when you're in a smaller community, you're gonna.
The county pays for it on both sides because we pay to prosecute the person. I just want to make sure it sends it.
So Stone Church Bridge, just put on hold for now. Are you still looking at in the future? I guess that's.
we're right on time.
No, I didn't. I threw it on my passenger seat of my pickup last night when I left the meeting.
Are we on?
It's gone.
I'd move to go back into regular section.
Second.
I have a motion to go back into regular session by Wanda, second by Dan. Discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
No action was taken on the items discussed in executive session.
Items for the next meeting, I think, would be Mr. Barkle and his A2Z cultivation unit.
Do we think we'll have the Sundance Ridge Road District?
Probably
on
not
there?
till July,
Probably not till July, okay,
when Patty's back.
all right.
Dan, anything?
I don't
John,
think-
anything?
Now, just if we could have that packet that you guys have scanned in.
Yeah,
That-
I'll
that-
put it in
Yeah.
we didn't even, I didn't even get it until like a half hour.
Yeah, like at
4:30.
5:30.
Well, 4:30 we brought it before we closed.
Oh, okay.
And,
Yep.
Yeah, so
That's on the applicant.
yeah.
Yep, yep.
I would move to adjourn.
Second.
I just have one little item to throw out.
Okay.
In my monthly meeting with the department heads today, we talked about leadership and management, but one of the items under leadership is celebration when things are being done well. And we talked about having a company picnic this summer. So that's
You mean a county picnic?
county picnic.
Are you offering the grill again, Don?
I said I would.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd be in favor of that. That was fun last time we had it. I thought there was some good team building there, so.
He has to schedule that around his ankle.
Okay. Did I get a motion to adjourn, Wanda?
Second.
Dan, second. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 We are adjourned.